So, today's class is supposed to be text formatting, and I'm assuming that you're supposed to have gone through the video. It's just a 5-minute video of what it's all about, and I'm going to explain that in detail in this class. And if you've gone through it yourself, you can come up with questions that you have, while working with it. In this case, we demo using, I think we use a wedding ceremony or wedding invitation card. That's what we use to demo to. Okay, this one was using a seminar, or we call it webinar. Like, so this talk I'm doing now, imagine I want to do it for a larger congregation, so that becomes a webinar also, where you want to talk about a topic, and that topic, just like a master class, something like that. So you want to do an invite, for that kind of occasion. You want to create a kind of web page that says, okay, this is an event going on. This is the information. You'll be doing a lot of text formatting. So you need to understand how it works and what is text formatting, to start with. Text formatting is more of like how you align text in web pages. So let me just go to let me do yahoo.com. So if you are used to Microsoft Word, and you should know that there is quite a lot of formatting that goes into Microsoft Word documents, where you have to do, let me open Word as well, where you have to do align to the left, align to the center. What's this thing called again? We have what we called, let me bring on Microsoft Word so that I can see all the formatting available in the Word document. So we are already used to Word document format. For us, we use documents. You can do alignment, right, center. You can do bullet points. So all these here that you see in the home page, these are all formatting. So, and all this should also be available to you when designing a web page. You should also be able to do all these things. So today's teaching or learning is to show you how to achieve all these features. You can see I'm doing italics, bold. You might want to do something like that also in your web page or whatever content you are designing. You want to be able to do that. So first of all, we need to first imagine something in our mind. What do we want to build? So we need to put something in our mind. What do we want to build? So I can just say I want to build this interface. This Instagram interface now. So I can say I want to build this field section where we have 9:08 p.m. and then we have our dates, and then we have our flower, and we have this on the bottom. So there's a little bit of formatting that has gone into play here. There is bold, there's aligned to the center. This one is also aligned to the center. There's image at the background, even though that image is not necessarily what's it called? It's not necessarily formatting. There is a button alignment here. This button is aligned to the right on this section. So there's quite a lot of things you can do with text alignment. So let's just go to the code and talk about the tags responsible for all these alignments. First of all, let's prepare our HTML tag. I'm going to make this big as usual so that we can have a visual representation of what we're doing. Let me make it 25. So we go with our head, title. So I'm gonna write, let me just say a letter. So I want to do a letter, like writing a letter to someone, to a friend or to a bank. So say this letter writing. Then the body is where we have all our content. Remember, when we have it this way now, you can see our text is here, then our body is here. Now in your normal Microsoft Word, so let's picture what we want to achieve. In your normal Microsoft Word, you have your address here. You have your address here, aligned to the right, normal, no need of bold, and then you have your date. On the left side, you have your salutation, depending on what kind of letter you're writing. Then let's say you want to write a letter to the bank. You are being debited to the bank. I think I write this a lot. It's one thing that they are doing or the other. Say bank manager. So the idea of this is just for you to see how the formatting works. And here can then be in the middle, you have application or closing of my account, closing of accounts. And depending on the format you are using, you can make this capital letter, you can make it bold, you can underline it, depending on what you want. Then you continue your story here, dear sir or ma'am. So we are trying to create something like this in the web. The reason why I'm showing you using this method is because we can all relate to this. Then body of your letter, come here. We can all relate to this. And we can have it normal this way. And this could be our body of our letter. Okay, so let's replicate this on a web page. Even though we're not done, we could say maybe we are listing something here and have it like this, and at the end we can have our signature and salutation on the right. Okay, so we can have something like this. Let's design something like this on the web page. So first of all, we've already designed our body. We start with the address on the right, and we use the paragraph. I'm sure you're familiar with the P now, the paragraph. That's what we use to group the address into one place. So all the paragraph address will come in here. I'll just use a fictitious address. So I'll say number 79 at the Bolaji Street. So we're breaking it. Lagos, Nigeria. The date is 20th January 2023. So mind you, if you save like this is what you have. And because you didn't trigger the break, so don't forget the break. We need to trigger our break because we want that to happen. We want that to happen in our output. So you need to trigger that break. So just for us to have a clean view, so I have it this way. So we have that. The next thing I want to do is to move it to the right hand side. So let's not forget our CSS. That's our style. We've already learned style attributes, so let's learn to use it when we need to. So what is available, what is used to align text is left or right. It's called text align. So you can either decide, these are the options that you have to align a text. You have left, right, and center. So we are doing right. So because it's a letter, I want to make, okay, let's leave it this big. Let me just give it a space because it looks so, I want to reduce the concentration. Okay. The next thing we have is we need to provide the address of the bank we're writing our letter to, and that will go to the bottom and have another paragraph and start the address of the bank. Okay, let's start. Okay, Bank of the North. Then you will break. The next thing, so okay, let's say manager. Then we'll break. You can put address here. Lagos branch. We'll break. Okay, so we are done. Look at what happened. Our P went away. So if we save, we have that there. So we've been able to create that fill. So you can see the alignment. Well, align one to the left, one to the right. The next thing we want to do now is to have this in the middle. So again, we'll go down to the next thing, which we also put in paragraph. We call it closure of bank accounts. Bank account or bank account. So we have that there, and it's staying there, but again, you want to align to the center. Notice this one by default is aligned to the left. That's, when you write in English, it's default to the left. If it was an Arabic, now it would be aligned to the right by default. So we have our style here. Now we repeat the same thing we did up, but this time around we align to the center, or rather to the left, to the right rather. Apologies, to the center. So we align to the center. So we have it there. So depending on what we want to achieve here, if you want to do underline, so let's use underline, because underline is we've not used underline before. You can achieve your underline in two ways. You can either use the style to call your underline, because we've not started using CSS. We don't want to do that, but let's just use CSS to achieve it, even though I'm going to show you the tag. So I call text decoration, and I say, is it decoration underline? Yeah. So automatically it's underlined. This is using a CSS style. Remember what CSS does? It allows you to design your elements in any which way. It provides a lot of feature-rich things that you can do. So because I want to show you the tag responsible for underlining, I can remove this one and show you that there's another thing you can use to underline. So by default it's not underlined. To make it underline, you introduce a new tag called U. That's letter U, and then it will be in brackets, or rather inside of this. Now notice what has happened here. It's very important that you look at this very well. This is how to nest. You can see the nesting. You can see the proper nesting. Your P starts. Inside your P you have your U, and inside your U you close your P again. The content of your U element or your U tag is closure of bank account. The content of P is both U and the content of U. So that's how you have that there, and this is the benefit of having a prettier, which I installed for you guys, to make your text look good, or rather to make you read your work easily. So this is very presentable. Even to you can read it easily. So if I come here now, you can see that our text is underlined, and I will also do something important. Note that I can, if I want to underline only bank, I can do that. How do I underline only bank? I will just carry my U here and make it be within bank alone, just the bank alone. So look at it again. I have it this way. So this guy has helped us to reformat it, but I think I like it this way. If you check it, it's underlining only bank. So I would prefer it to look like this. I think it won't argue with me this way. So I prefer it to look like this, even though it's supposed to be in one line. So the idea is that you've introduced a tag, so that tag should be separated, so that you can easily, if you are finding bank now, for example, you can easily find it this way. Again, if you wanted to underline both bank and account, you just do it this way and you have it that way, bank account. But because we are writing a letter, both of them are all what we have, they are supposed to be underlined if you want to follow the rule. Okay, so we have it that way. The next thing we have is this section here, which talks about the salutation before we go into the body. So let's do the salutation. Again, paragraph. And then we can now write our dear sir / madam. Then I think it has a comma, I'm not sure. So again, it's there. Before we now start writing the body of our letter. So what I want to do right now is I want to reduce the font. The font of the letter looks so big. So I want to reduce it so that it will have a lot of things to do here. Since I want to reduce the font, generally I will use the body attribute. I'll use the body to style. I'll style the body because I want to do a general update on the font. So I'll do font size and let me try 12 pixels. Okay, let's go with this for now. So the next thing we want to do is be able to put the body of the letter. So while we're entering the body of the letter, we're going to be talking about one or two features. Okay, so the body of the letter is also going to be in a paragraph, and we can start writing the story. So I'll just put some gibberish here. Okay, then I'll repeat myself as many times as I can, just to have a lengthy text. Okay, so we have your story right there. Now the next thing again I want to mention is other attributes, things like points. I mentioned that you'll be able to do some text formatting. You'll be able to do all this formatting you see in the home on the Excel. You are able to do that, or rather on the Microsoft Word, you can do that using using the editor. That's the HTML tags that you'll be using. You can do that with that. So we're going to start by using the date. There's something I missed out in the date. Let's go and fix it. So normally date has when you do 20th, for example, when you write 20th, the th normally go up. So if you want to do something like that, there's a tag that helps you do that. Now that's SUP, that's superposition. So if I go to the date and note what I want to make to go up is th. Within that, I just wrap it within the tag that allows me to do that, and that's SUP. Then if I put my th here, automatically my SUP will be raised up. That's what you have here. The same thing, you will guess it, if I change it to U, what will happen to th to be underlined? So you can see the tag working there. So of course what we want to do is do soup. Then the opposite of soup is sub. That's if you want it to be under. Currently now it's up. If you want it to be a base, like if you're writing base 10 or base something, you want to write something but you want it to be under, we'll look for a scenario like that and then you see how we'll use it. So if I want something like that, I do a sub. As opposed to a soup. So when you do a sub, it comes under. So we'll check out a scenario where we'll use something like that. So let's continue with our sub. Okay, so we have our sub there. The next thing that I want to introduce is I want to introduce bold. How do you make something bold? For example, we want to make this closure of a bank account. We want to make it bold. To do that, we come here. Again, we can use CSS. Everything that you can, most of the things we are using tag to do, you could actually use CSS to do them. But because we're not in CSS, I'm showing you the tag version of all these things. They might come in handy. Instead of you writing the entire CSS, you might just use the tag and then you are good to go. Okay, so how do you make this section bold? Very easy. You put the bold tag inside this. So let me write it here like this, just for clarity. The bold tag is B. Remember when I said that tag is not A, B, C, D, because we started with an A tag the other time. So it's not, A, B, C, D like that. It's just because A is for hyperlink, B is for bold. There's no C tag. I think there's a D tag. There's no E tag like that. So there's a reason why there's B tag, because B stands for bold, U is for underline, P is for paragraph, A is for hyperlink. I don't know why they came up with A and hyperlink. It's supposed to be H or something. So once you know the rules, that's the rule. So you can see that you are saying from here to here is a paragraph. Then what follows is from here to here should be underlined. Then from here to here should be bold. If you come, you can see that this is bold. Now, you should be able to make only bank bold and the rest underline. So let's do that. How do we make only bank bold and the rest underline? It's just by simply leaving the underline as it is and removing the bold on everything, put it in bank and close the bold, with under bank alone. So you have something like this. Look at it very well. Our bank is bold, and the rest is underlined. The same thing, imagine is the bank you want to make underline and bold together. You just do it like this, and then you close it outside the last bold. Look at how it's properly nested. Look at how you start your U tag. You start it before the bold. So when you are closing it, it should be after the bold. You are not cross nesting it. So I think you should have seen this in lesson 2, where you can cross. So if I check this out, I can see it's bold and italic at the same time. You can't do like this. This is a bad way to run this. You can see that you start here with bold, but you end with U. This is not really good. Even though it will give you a funny result, you can see that it worked. That's one thing with HTML, but this is wrong. It will come back to bite you later. When you are not doing some things, you just see that the whole thing didn't work. It's because of error like this, that makes that to occur. So it's very important that you open and close your tag, very well. You take care to note that this tag is closed in the right order where it's supposed to be closed. And that's the reason why you are seeing me when I'm breaking it like this, so that I can say, okay, this is P, this is where P close. I now did like this. This is U, this is where U close, like that. You can't put this U now outside, outside here, because now you open it here, you refuse to close it within. You can't come and close it outside of P here, so that would be wrong nesting. So it will give you a terrible result. So let's go back. Okay, so what I just achieved here is to show you how you can implement multiple things in a particular write-up. While I'm formatting this text, for example, now I can make a bank, this one underline, or I can underline the branch, or I can make it italics. So let's talk about italics now. Italics is to make text slanting. So again, you can achieve it with your CSS. So what I want to do here is to make this address guy to be italics. So how do I put it? What is responsible for that? Is I. I is for italics. Again, you can achieve it with CSS, but we're not doing CSS. So if I should save this now, you can see that it has helped us to prettier, has helped us to break it, but I don't like the way it broke it. So it's better like this. I think it broke it like this because of the BR. So let me see if it will respond well now. Okay, it's breaking it well now. So what this does, from the name, is to make it italics. Again, you can just italics only one particular section. So if you want to concentrate on the bank and make bank italics, you will just either add the I before the B and close it immediately, or you add the I before the B and close it after the B. So let's add the I, like this, and then we close it here. So you can see that the bank is now slanted. So if I want this to be visually appealing to you, for you to see it very well, I'll do it like this. So you can see what I call proper nesting. You know, the B starts here and end, the I starts, and again, if I want to do it too much, I have something like this, you know, just for you to see it clearly, how it's properly nested. Okay, let's move on. Again, when you have any question, please let me know. The next thing we want to do is to show you how to do what's it called now, list item. If you want to list an item, how do you list an item? What is responsible for that? You can either list your item within, I think we should list it within our paragraph. So you start listing an item. You have two forms of listing, two kind of listing. It's even there in the Word, Microsoft Word. It's even there in Microsoft Word. You can see there's number listing and points listing, as in listing with points, like point, or listing with numbers, you know, as the case may be. So you can see 1, 2, 3. So how do you achieve that in HTML? Simple. So it's called UL. They call it unordered lists. Unordered list. UL means unordered list. So let me put a comment right in the front. Again, remember how we write our comments? I'll call it unordered list. Meaning the lists are not ordered, meaning they are not 1, 2, 3. They are just bullet points. So, and then you start by opening the tag this way and then putting your list inside the parent tag. The parent tag is UL, and then the child tag is LI. LI means lists. LI. So you can now start putting your list. I can say account info. Yeah, you can say account info and say maybe this is my account number. That's my first list. That's what my first item. If I go back to check what's there, you can see that because I say it's unordered, it's giving me a bullet point and now have my information. To add a new list to it, you add LI, a new LI, and you go ahead and say bank new gen bank. So you see what is happening is building up our list for us. Now everything that I've just told you about this here in terms of sub, italics, bold, all this formatting can be applied to anywhere you have a text. As it is now, if I want to make this bold now, I want to stress my bank accounts, like, okay, this is very important. I can just make this bold. How do I make bold? I put it in B in brackets. I put it in this form. You see this? So if I do it this way, my account is bold here, and I can easily do, of course, I'm just trying to make it clearer. So if I do this, it's visually clear now, to what is happening. Again, you can underline if you want to. So let's underline the bank here. In fact, let me do something interesting. Let me underline the title and leave the value as it is. So I'm underlining the title, that's the account name and the bank, and leaving the value as it is. So let me leave it from bold, and let's have a review. So this is what I have: account name, account info, bank, and I have this. The next thing I want to show is ordered list. Ordered list. So I'll just use this same example. I don't want to make it too lengthy. How do you do ordered list? Ordered list is OL. Instead of UL, you use OL. I just change this to O, and then I have it that way. If I go and check my code, it's now written in 1 and 2. So this is I don't want to take you to an advanced class where you have to say, oh, okay, what if I want alphabet? What if I want special character and things like that? So I don't want to go into CSS. CSS will allow you to specify Roman figure 1, for example. You want to use ABC, you want to use a bracket, just the way this will allow you to do. If you go and specify this, CSS can allow you to specify that in that detail. So it's everything you can do with Word, you can do here. Okay, let me move on to the next thing. The next thing we have is the salutation part, where you get to say, okay, thank you, yours faithfully, and the rest. Mind you, we are staying in a paragraph. Let's open another paragraph. So you can see where you need to make your code readable. It's for you. To allow you to be able to see where things are, and it will even give you understanding of what you are doing. If you just lump everything in one place, you will just get lost, while trying to find things in your program. So let's say we have yours faithfully here, and we break. Then this is supposed to be a signature. Let's make it in italics. So we do I, and I'm going to introduce a new tag now, but let me tell you about it. So once we do that, the next thing is to align to the right, kind of. So we do style, text center, or our text align center right. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to show you, so we have, okay, I think it was, zoom too high. So what I want to show you is a way to provide a line across. In a Word, you have a way to do a line across. So how do you do that in HTML? I want to do that for you here, is to do a del. So like a delete. So it's like you're deleting, a text. So it's a del. Just like we have U for underline. So if you want to strike a line across something, you just use del. It deletes. That's how it is done. Okay, I will take questions. Do you guys have questions? Before I move on, do you guys have questions? Lately, I'm using Mac, and it will look so different from your system. So first of all, okay, let's do it this way. Since we have Windows here, so rather we have Microsoft Word here. So Word will help us. So this is what you will do. I don't want to do advanced training, as I've mentioned. Let's focus on the font on your system. Then later I will tell you how you can put the font so it will be available for everybody's system. So currently on your system, you can go to Microsoft Word and check out the font you want to use. So if you have a font that you want to use, let's use this one for the body of the text. So now that's the font, but I have to know the name. Very important. I have to know the name. So let me see what we have here. Brush script MR, or rather M7. Brush script M7. So let's try and use that. So we want to use it here like a write-up, or let's put in the form of signature. Okay, let's write in the form of signature. So I come to the signature part, I remove the delete. And okay, rather let's put in form of a name. At the bottom you still write your name. You still write your name here. So let's make it look like a handwriting. So we do a BR. Now we want to style this. Remember I showed you guys span. So we're going to use span because I want to style it independently. There's no way you can style something that is not wrapped inside an element. If you notice, the element that is wrapped inside, this is supposed to be P. I think when we were working, it changed it. Okay, the element that these guys are wrapped around is supposed to be BR. Okay, the element that this my name is wrapped around is the whole of this P. And if I style it, it will style even the yours faithfully. if I need to style this particularly, I will need to put it inside an element and style that element. Remember when we're doing Google, we style individually, G-O-O, like that. So we have to put this inside a span so that we can style it. Span doesn't have any, styling attached to it. It will just replicate it like that, nothing special. Now what we want to do is we want to add our fonts. Again, we use our style, then font family. Now I can't even remember the name again, but I will try and remember. I think it says brush script M7. Okay, let's see what's going on there. Okay, I can call it's MT, not M7. So I was able to copy it from here and paste. So you can see that it now comes out well, like you're writing. So you can see that's how to do that. It comes up like this. So what I want to do next is I want to try another font. So let's try another font. Let's do something for the signature, something that will depict signature. Yeah, let's use this one. So I'll just copy the text here. The same thing. I can even style the delete, or these are another font facts. I can style the italics. So you can add style attributes to anything. So I want to style the italics, font family. So I'll put it in a single quote because of this space. Notice this single quote because the font name contains space inside it. So you can see it's looking like a signature, kind of. So you could just say you sign your name by, you can just write your name there. Okay, so that's it. That's our signature name. So I think this should help you to be able to use any font on your system now. Just go to your open Microsoft Word and look at the fonts that you like to use for any of the projects you are working on currently, and then copy the name as I've done here. Just copy it and put it inside the font family. So by the time we go into more advanced classes, you will be able to see how you can leverage and use fonts across, because now if you should try this on your system, if you don't have this font installed, it will not work. In fact, if you check, because I do design as well, if you check your system, you will not see this font on your own particular system, so but you can actually download it online. If you download it online, then you install. So we'll go through all those process when you get to CSS. Okay, I think that's everything for today, but let me quickly check if we are missing anything in the video. I would like you to practice with the exercise there. I don't want to repeat the exercise, so there's no point me doing the exercise. The exercise is for you to go and practice. Is here, text formatting, lesson exercise 5, so you can look at it and do exactly what is there. If you are having any challenge, you can beep me on that. I want to see if there's anything we didn't. Yes, I just remembered now. There's also something that we didn't use, and is a new element. That element is called small. The element is called small. So we can attach the element to. I'm looking for where to attach the element. Let's attach the element to this sir/madam. That's what to attach the element to. So the element name is called small, and what it does is to make a smaller version of the way your text look like. So our text is like this. This is how your text look like. Then if I want to make a stress or make it smaller because of one thing or the other, I can just make this smaller. I will show you a good example of that So first of all, let me make this smaller, then I'll show you where it will be needed, where you will use something like that. So let me make this smaller. Again, just by specifying the small tag or the element. So when I do that, notice the change. It's smaller, but maybe not too different. So let me show you where you will need it. Let me quickly do a small project where it's normally used on web. It's actually used, for shopping carts and what have you, where you have you are trying to say this is what the price of an item is, and it's no longer that, it is now this. So let me say padding or margin 50 px, just for the what we're trying to show to center very well. Then I can say item price. I can say the price is $600, and old price 5. Okay, formerly is, I can now say former price is now $100. So this is what I want to show you guys. So I want to add some things to it to make it more interesting. So I'll put a little bit of color. So you are saying a price of an item is $100, and the former price, was this. How do you do? I want to make it small because I'm not stressing. I don't want to stress the 900. I'm stressing the 600. So I want to make the 600, 900 a little bit smaller, so you can see the effect. So it's smaller than this text. Then I can do more stuff to it by deleting it because it's not relevant. When I mean delete now, strike an arrow over it. Then you have this kind of effect. Then I can add one more style to it, and that is styling it to be red, because again we are not using it anymore. There are two colors I can give there. They normally use gray or sometimes red. So it's like you are not really focused on these, but people that look at it say, oh, okay, it was formerly $900. Okay, now it's $100. So you use this in product advertisements, or shopping carts. You see it in your example. Then you can say red if you really want to stress it, like this thing is a hot cake, is formerly 900. You cannot buy it at this price. And you can go a step further by saying you want people to really see that 600. You can make 600 bold so that it will pop out from what you are doing. So you can see what your normal stuff has changed into. So that's how you play with your content to give you a desirable effect, and this will be based on maybe the color that you're working with at the moment. So that's the element I want to show there. It's small. What it does, just instead of you now styling this separately, just add the word small there. You just reduce the font a little bit. And there are other things you can do. You can even do the sub. You can even use sub, but sub does not fit in this scenario. It's more of like small that we use. I think you've seen the use of sub. So you can also use sub in this method sometimes. For I don't think they use it like this. Like if you are saying this, it's more of like small that they use here as well, because you are not stressing the 00. So they use small in this place. So to do something like this, because the value we are concentrating on is the whole number here. Okay, any question? Any more question?
Yes. Not really per se, it's just mine has to do with, I don't know, I think my printer isn't working.
Okay.
I don't know, maybe it's because I don't really shut down.
Hmm. The again, we when we were doing the when we were working on this stuff the other time, at some point the printer was not working, and it was because we wrote a bad HTML code. So the printer didn't know what to do, so it hung. So it's possible that the HTML code you've written is not correct. So check the HTML tags very well. And we will need to also concentrate more on this nested tag. I will need to do a class again because I know this. You can see the way I nested this now. If you miss it, like this, it can cause issue. You can see that this is wrong, even if you write it this way. So it's supposed to be, when you open a tag, you have to close it immediately. I open this tag, I close it immediately. I open this tag, look at where I'm closing it. I'm closing it after, do you see that all this one, if I remove it now, everything still looks intact. I put it back, it's okay. So you have to look at the way the tags are nested. And that's why I installed that prettier to help, with the look of the tags, the way the tags are. So if I have to reformat this one now, it should look like this, ideally. It should look like this. Bold from everything, even the small, make it bold, while make the 00 small. So if you do anything otherwise, it will have an issue. So we need to, you can send me the code, I can look at it and pinpoint, the issue that you're having. So that can actually, make the prettier not to work. If you enjoyed this video, kindly like, share, subscribe, and turn on the bell notification to encourage us to make more content like this. If you have any feedback for us, kindly drop it in the comment section below. See you in the next video. Thank you.